So welcome back everybody and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to show you how I made this travel gouache palette. Now when I first bought these gouache inner tubes over a year ago, I squirted it each on a bit of card, a bit of paper. I hated the texture as I spread it with the brush. I hated how it felt. It dried chalky. I didn't like it. And as I've gotten more into watercolor painting and I've learned a bit more about gouache being kind of the in-between of watercolor and acrylic, where, you know, once it dries like a cake you can reactivate it with water, I thought I'm going to give it another go. So I pulled out the same tubes and I bought some half pans from the local art shop, Aotearoa Art Supplies, and a few bits from the dollar store, and I made this gouache palette. And already learning how to use the colours is a lot better, comparatively speaking, how do I fit this both in, than these colours. This is the same set, the exact same tubes, but learning how to use it better made a heck of a difference. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I made this. We're going to take these small round containers out. We're not using them today and we'll save them for another project at another time. We're going to use our black nail polish to paint along all four edges of the inside of our container to help protect our paint from the light. I'm going to use the lid of my container to figure out the layout of my paint pans. For this next step, I used paper, a ruler, washi tape, a pencil, and a fine tip marking pen. Use your ruler to measure your lid to create a swatch card that will also help you remember your colour layout in your palette. Write down the names of your colours in the same order they'll be laid out in your palette so that you can refill them later on. Write down the brand name of your paint so that you can repurchase them later on. I'm gluing my half pans into my palette with super glue. I'm using a small pot that this container came with between my pans to leave a bit of a gap for a paintbrush or pencil later on. I'm filling my half pans with paint in the same order that I have written them out on my swatch card. The pigment has fallen out of suspension with the binding agent in these paints as they've been sitting untouched for over a year. The texture is gritty and thick like toothpaste. I'm now going in with my palette knife to remix the paint that has fallen out of suspension and to gain a smoother, creamier texture. I'll wipe the excess of my palette knife onto my swatch card. My paints have been drying long enough for me to not worry that they'll spill with movement. I'm now going to laminate the top of my swatch card with tape. I'm going to attach my swatch card to the top of my container with double-sided tape. I'm going around the edges of my swatch card with sticky tape to prevent the corners from curling up. The lid of my container doesn't stay on very well on its own, so I'm super gluing a hair elastic to the back of my container to keep the lid in place when travelling. I'm placing a sticky tape on the back because I'm impatient and can't wait for the glue to dry. And this is my completed palette. So that's how I made my little travel wash palette. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all the whatnots. I'm going to try and make an arty or creative video at least twice a month, and I'll see you in a new one.